Hey everybody, it is DeLaney Daniels from Buffalo, New York, and I am checking in with industry's most wanted podcast.
Take me back to when I was little, when life was so simple, and I had so little to worry about.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. I heard we got Buffalo, New York in the building. DeLaney Daniels, she came in here looking like a whole model superstar. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Absolutely. But, I know you do a lot. You have a lot going on. Go ahead and give us a rundown of everything that DeLaney Daniels is doing.
So right now I am working on an EP. I am pushing my single Old Me that is streaming on all platforms right now. And I've just been performing and kind of doing some press run, trying to get myself out there.
I love it. Most definitely. I want to take it back just ever so slightly because it's important to me that people understand your journey. What was it like growing up in Buffalo, and how long did you live there?
I lived in Buffalo my entire life.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been there since I was little, a baby. Moved to Atlanta in, I want to say 2020. If not, it was 2021.
Okay.
So I've been out here for almost 3 years. This year in May, it'll make it 3 years. And growing up in Buffalo, it wasn't bad. You have your rough areas, but very thankful for my mom. She worked very hard to move me out of the inner city when I was about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
She moved me into the suburbs, and I've lived in the suburbs ever since. I still have a lot of family in the inner city, so I do go there often.
Yeah.
I have cousins and things like that. My dad lives out there, so I visit him occasionally when I go back to Buffalo. And when I lived in Buffalo, I was over his house a lot. So
dope. I love that. Most definitely. Would you say that coming up in New York had an influence on you for wanting to start doing music?
I honestly started off modeling, so I never really thought much about music. My grandmother sings. My mom's side of the family is very musically inclined.
Understood.
So I don't know. I started off modeling, and then I needed a talent when I was about like 18 years old, modeling or somewhere around there. And I just started singing. My Aunt Tanya, she lives in Virginia. We were in Disney, and I was singing like just in my AirPods. Well, we had like headphones at the time. So
yeah.
I was singing in the headphones. And she, I was like 14, 15 or somewhere around there. And she told my mom, like, oh, like Lisa, my mom's name is Lisa. She said, DeLaney could sing. And my mom like, DeLaney can't sing. She like, yes, she can. So when it came time for the talent, we tried out, a song, and it came out pretty cool. And that's what it's been since.
That is so dope. So at what age was it that you started modeling?
I was 15. I was like 14, 15.
What got you into that? I'm curious.
Growing up, I've always been very small, very petite, like 95 pounds soaking wet. And to an extent, it bothered me, like it was an insecurity of mine of being very small. Because I had a lot of people around me and cousins and friends that was a little bit, thicker, and that's what was in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, man, I used to have my days. But when I started modeling at Susan Mackay's Personal Best, where Jessica White got her start, because she's from Buffalo as well, she really helped build my confidence.
Yeah.
So now it's to the point where I don't think too much about it.
Absolutely. You're beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't think too much about it. I just kind of get dressed and go, and it's just like a confidence thing for me now. So modeling is definitely what helped get me where I am with my singing.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women out here who would love to like be your size and have your shape. I promise you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he and I were just talking about it. One of the things as we get older, because I'm in my 40s now, late 40s, is keeping that weight off. It gets tougher as we get older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely, shout out to you for taking that path that that your heart desired. And now you said you have that complete confidence as you should.
Yes.
Which one do you enjoy more, modeling or music?
I've been asked this question before. I would have to say music. Music is a bit harder for me to digest at times because it's a little bit for me, a tougher industry.
Yeah.
Modeling, I will always have a love for it, though. That's where I got my start.
Yeah.
Modeling, it made me feel good. It helped build my confidence for my music and everything like that. But music is like the way it makes me feel. It's a little different.
Absolutely. I think music helps with our mental,
Yes.
We are in an era where, mental health is very real. I talk about that quite a bit. Would you say that modeling, you said it helped build your confidence coming into music. What other ways did it help you with your music?
It helped me express myself and not stay in a box. Because with modeling, it was it's very artsy.
Yes.
And I was always like a cut and dry kind of person, very black and white.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot to me, a lot of spunk and things of that nature. But when it came to confidence and things like that, it was very black and white for me.
Understood.
So modeling, it definitely helped bring that color and that artsiness, and it helped me push myself to go out of the box when it comes to my music and try new things.
Absolutely. So let's go back onto the modeling side for just a minute. What type of modeling were you doing? Like, were you doing like, I don't know a ton about it, but like runway modeling, magazines, like what were you doing?
I was walking the runway for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm not tall enough to be a runway model. When I'm on the runway, my legs are long, so I look taller than what I am. So when I would get off the runway, the judges would be like, how tall are you? I'm like, I'm only 5'5". And when you get a certain age in the modeling industry, you have to be a certain height. So it got to a point where I was only a commercial print model. So I did like commercials for West Her back in Buffalo.
Okay.
And it was a outlet in Niagara Falls, things like that. So I still love the runway, though. Like, I'll still walk it.
Yeah, no, that is dope. I love it. So, transitioning into music, what has that been like for you? Because, doing runway and things like that, transitioning into a music artist, you're still on a stage, per se, performing and stuff. What has that transition been like for you?
It's been a little bit more comfortable for me because modeling, you have to stay alert on the stage, make sure you're walking like this, walking like that.
Yeah.
You make eye contact with the judges, things like that. When it comes to singing, I'm able to be in my own world. If I want to perform, with my eyes closed for 30 seconds, nobody's gonna say anything about it. It's just like they're so into the song as well as myself. It's normal. So I'm able to be in my own world and just be myself and just kind of let the music carry me. Sometimes I like to perform with my shoes off.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I think also, too, music is one of those industries that you can go a little bit further in as far as, like you said, modeling at a certain age, they require you be a certain height. And not to say you can't model at 60, 70, because there's probably an outlet for it. But I think music can take you a little bit further. What about film? Is that something that interests you?
Yes, I always say that. My mom say that as well. She's like, I can see you getting into the music industry and just becoming like this big actress.
Yeah.
One thing about me, I'm very funny.
You could do some comedy?
Oh, yeah. I say that. If somebody put me in a movie, make sure I play a funny part, because if it's something sad or something like that, I can relate, of course, but I'll play so much. It's going to be like, cut, DeLaney.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm going to try not to laugh. It's like,
yeah. No, that would be dope. I think it kind of all ties together because all of them are a form of like an entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. So getting into film would be something that you should look into doing as well.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Getting on that big screen, and there's a lot of dope, like independent film directors just here in Atlanta, getting on the independent side, and that may take you to the next level. So it may be something to look at for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely. When I was in modeling school, she held acting classes as well.
Yeah.
So I actually went to homecoming, my high school homecoming. I went to it late because I was at an acting class. So.
That is dope. What brought you out here to Atlanta?
I just wanted a bigger, scenery with the music, and then Buffalo is very small. So it was kind of getting to the point where I was like, I kind of need to expand, and I need to meet new people and kind of gain, new and different supporters and things like that. I just really wanted to kind of push myself to the limits. It's my first time being, away from my parents and living on my own. So, yeah.
It's very different.
Something new. Yeah, it is.
Was it a culture shock for you?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really, no. It's not as diverse as Buffalo, I would say that. It's not, it's very, like, kind of one-sided in a way, but, like, in a good way.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, love them to death, but they a little, it's a little bit on the segregated side.
Understood.
It's very split.
Yeah.
To an extent. So I don't really see that here. Everybody is one. So I kind of like that.
Absolutely. That's what I love about it. I've been here for 10 years now. And that's one of the first things that I noticed coming from Florida to here is people really support each other here. And people are really like intertwined with each other. Of course, you're going to have some people that they got their own little cliques or whatever.
Agreed.
But, but for the most part, like if you go to an event, there will be people that don't even know you and they're going to support you here.
Yes.
I love that.
I've noticed that and I love that. Love that. Yeah.
So you've been performing since you've been out here?
Yes, I have. I recently started performing some months ago. It was a time out here where I thought about going back home because I just didn't know which way to go with my music, where to start.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating, that's just kind of what it was for me. But once I started moving, it's been a little bit different. And I've noticed the support is a little different as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if I don't know somebody, they'll come up to me after I perform and hug me like, oh my God, that song. And I'm just like, it's so overwhelming. It makes me want to cry sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We as women, we're very emotional.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to something that you're doing, like your music, that's very personal for you.
Very, yeah.
So for people to come to you and want to love on you because of how you made them feel, that could be emotional for you.
Yeah. And it's like that with the song, Old Me, that I'm pushing. It's about just going back. Like the first line of the song is take me back to when I was little, when life was so simple.
Yeah.
So I think that line alone just kind of catches people attention because everybody go through life and wish that there's a point in time where they could just start over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you go back and tell your younger self?
It's okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's say no more. I think as a woman, I definitely understand that. Yeah. Not to, throw shade at fellas, but we as women are very emotional. And I think, growing up, especially coming into like teenage years and developing into a woman, it could be a little tough sometimes, and we feel like other people are looking at us a certain way or whatever. Tell ourselves it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I would tell myself. Any obstacle, any issue I come across, whether it's, life, relationships, friendships, anything, like just overall, it's okay. Yeah. And it's going to be okay. Like, you'll get over it. You'll get through it. It's nothing you should sit and drown in.
Yes.
It's okay.
This too shall pass.
Yes.
Like, I've always been an overthinker my entire life.
Same.
Overthinking. And that's what will stress me out because something will happen or maybe something doesn't even happen. Like and I'll come up with 100 scenarios of what I think is going to happen and none of them play out. Now I'm stressing myself out, getting this anxiety, and then nothing ever comes of it.
Right. And it's like, why did you even think of that?
Right. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's overthinker, and it's it has a lot to do with kind of being like a perfectionist and just wanting everything to go right, you know, especially when you've been done wrong or, you get treated wrong. Yeah. It's like if you get treated wrong and you're being done wrong, the only person that could treat you and do you right is yourself.
Absolutely.
So it's like you get to overthinking on and kind of contemplate like, okay, preparing yourself, this person is going to do this, so let me make sure I do this to prevent it. They don't even do it, but it's like, what, at least I would have been ready.
Yo, that's funny. Like, not that I'm glad other people go through it, but I'm glad that I'm not alone.
Oh, you're not. I'm terrible. I'm an overthinker. I'm terrible.
Yeah, so much so. What is the song that you're pushing right now your most personal record that you've released?
I think that and Sad Eyes.
Okay.
I have a record called Sad Eyes, and the first line in that is just, I'm troubled, I can't move. I'm troubled, I don't know what to do, because it came a point in time where it's just, I found myself just like crying a lot. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I have my flaws. I have not been, the perfect daughter, perfect cousin, perfect friend. Yeah. But overall, if I had to choose a side of who I am as a person, I'm a really good person. Yeah. When I love hard, and I love myself. I had to learn to do that. So when people don't, love me the same or give me the same, I kind of get, intertwined in my feelings. Absolutely. And things like that. And then, like you said, mental health, I went through a moment of, for years, depression and anxiety, and I found myself just crying a lot. Yeah. A lot. So I just wrote that song. I wrote that song in like 30 minutes. Like, that's just how I was feeling. Wow. And the hook is just sad eyes, why so sad? Like,
And you had a lot on your heart, and writing is a good outlet for that. Yeah. pouring those emotions out and putting them on paper. And like I was just sharing with him before you got here, like we all have past traumas. We've all been through stuff. And I was telling him this year, like some of my past traumas I've been through, I refuse to carry them on past this year. So I said, I'm going to start getting therapy. You know, like sometimes it's okay to sit down and talk with people and not feel ashamed about doing that, you know? So it's like for you, your music is your therapy.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, I went to therapy. I don't care.
Listen,
I had
yes.
issues, like,
yes.
But I stopped going. I loved it. She helped me out. I started going. I lost a really close friend of mine. We've been friends since 6th grade.
That's tough.
Yeah, she passed when she was 21.
That's tough.
Yeah.
She was still so young.
She was, yeah. She was sick, though. She was sick, but she did everything she wanted to do. She got her first car, apartment. She had a kid. Aww. Graduated cosmetology school. Her name was Veda. She passed away when we were 21. Man. So I started going to therapy because I was dealing with that. Then I was also dealing with depression. Yeah. And that therapist, like, she was really good. She really helped. But I stopped going because she ended up moving back to New York City. Oh. So I was like, man, if I can't talk to her, I won't talk
exactly, right. You don't want to start all over with somebody new. Yeah. But I'm glad that you went because, you know, thank you for being so transparent and sharing that because other young women, young men need to hear this, that it's okay. Yeah. Mental health is very real and it's okay for us to seek help when we feel like we need it. Absolutely. You know, and sometimes it just takes talking to somebody, you know, and being able to vent and them listening to understand and not listening to respond. Agreed. Big difference. I'm a big advocate for mental health. I never mind talking about it. You know, a lot of people look at me on the outside, you know, and they're like, they may feel like, oh, she's perfect or she's this or she's that. And it's not that. Yeah. I come with so many flaws. Like, and I want people to know that. And when I write my music, it's not for me to say, oh, I seen this person go through this. Let me write about it. I write about what I've been through. And I know that what I've been through can be relatable for other people. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I try to really keep in mind. Absolutely. So when they tune in and hear your music, they're really going to hear you. Oh, absolutely. Your emotions, things that you've been through. Heartbreaks. Yeah. All that. Yeah. And I love that too, because that's what makes your music so relatable. Yes. Because everybody goes through that type of stuff. Yeah. You want people to feel it. Yeah, most definitely. Have you been in album mode at all? Or are you focusing on singles right now? I recently just got in album mode. I'm kind of focusing on singles. I just had a listening session with my team not too long ago, and they were like, why have you been sitting on this? I probably have about like 15 unreleased songs. Wow. Yeah, I write. Like, I'll sit and I'll just write. Like, I do. I work a 9 to 5. Yeah. Like, that's okay. Of course it is. So, I did for a long, long time. Yeah. Trust me. Right. So I work my 9 to 5. Sometimes I get off work. And I will I get off work late, 7:30 at night. Yeah. I will sit there until sometimes 1 and 2 in the morning. And I'll just sit at my computer and I'll just record back to back and I'll write. And then I'll go to bed and I'll get up, work my 9 to 5. And sometimes I'll do it again. I know that's right. Yeah. She's a hustler, baby. Yes. I love that. She independent. She doing her thing. What does a writing session look like for you? Is it something that's ever planned out, or do you just one day, you know, you got something on your heart, you want to start writing? You know, what does a writing session look like for you? For me, it's normally what's on my heart. Yeah. You know, I know a lot of people like, oh, like I give you this beat, like you go home and you know, I give you this beat, you go home and you write to it, whatever. But for the most part, I have to feel it because I could write a song in 20 minutes. I could write a song in a half an hour. Wow. Wow. You know? Wow. Yeah, but that's just me in that writing mode and what I'm feeling. I'm able to go and once I get that first 2 lines down, in my mind, it's like, it's so weird. It's like gears they just turn. Start going. Yeah, and it's just like words just come out. That is so dope. Right, yeah. So you record yourself, like all the music you record yourself? Yeah, I record myself at home. I love it. I have done some recording in Virginia and out in Canada. I've recorded at my uncle, DJ Hassan. He's a DJ on 93.7 WBOK in Buffalo. So I recorded at his house. He has a home studio. But for the most part, yeah, I record myself at home and then I'll send my vocals out to get mixed and mastered. Yeah. Because I've had issues with, you know, kind of janky
business. And so it's to the point where I just like, I record myself and I send the vocals out and get them mixed and mastered.
Absolutely. I think that's important too, especially as a singer, because you probably want a very intimate setting. You don't want to be in a studio and there's bodies moving around and it becomes uncomfortable and awkward. At home, you can take your time with it.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person that I love the studio for one. I love a studio setting, but I'm not the type of person that goes in the studio and I'm in there for hours. When I go to the studio, I know what I want to record. I know how I want it to sound. I get in there and I do it. Like when I went to Virginia, it was Vegas. Oh, I did record in Vegas. I went out to Vegas and I recorded, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 songs in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, like I like to go in there and I like to just go. Yeah. Like we could laugh a little bit, but just a couple chuckles and we gotta get back to it.
Time is money, and them studio sessions can get to be expensive depending where you go.
Yeah.
When you travel and touch other cities, do you typically try to carve in some time to find a studio in that city and go record there just for the experience of it?
Yeah, sometimes I do. If not, I'll try to like sometimes find an open mic.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I'm going on vacation because music has stressed me out. Then I'm like, you know what? Because, I mean, if I go with friends or something, they'll say like, oh, it's an open mic. And I'm like, sometimes I don't feel like doing that.
Understood.
I don't feel like doing. Like when I went to New York City, I performed out there. It was a nice big crowd. But there was some hiccups that went along with going out there. And then when we were out there, it was some issues. So once I got done, I performed like I want to say 2 days in a row. Yeah. Once I got done, I went to Times Square and I just let loose. And my cousin was like, we should find an open mic. And I'm like, well, maybe, but if we don't, that's cool. Like,
yeah. Sometimes you just need time away. You need that me time.
Yeah. I wanted to do cartwheels and
hang out with my homegirls and stuff. Yeah. Turn up and have fun. You have to break away.
Yes.
I feel like if you are constantly doing it, you will almost fall out of love with the process. And I think it's so important that we stay in love with the journey of it, right? Yeah. What do you love the most about being a music artist and the journey behind it?
I don't know. It's a lot that I love. I think I've learned a lot about myself with writing because my first CD, I did not write that. My mom did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, my mom used to write for me. So that was one thing I loved about the journey. I learned about myself because she always told me like you can do it, and she told me like if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's facts.
And that's what I feel. But I do try to get people to understand, like you said, like you take that time because if you drown yourself in it, you could fall out of loving it. It's like living with somebody and being married and you're around them all the time and y'all stressing each other out. Y'all need that space.
No, that's facts. Because with any situation, the saying absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's with relationships. That's with business. I think that's with anything in life.
Anything you love.
Yeah, like you just have to take that time away.
Agreed.
What would you say in 2023 was your biggest accomplishment within this music industry?
I think my biggest accomplishment, honestly, would be me being my own voice. My mom managed me. She was a momager since I started. But when I moved to Atlanta, she wasn't here anymore. She wasn't here to be that voice, that backbone, that no, she's not doing it kind of thing. I had to be that for myself. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments, honestly, because I learned to be able to do that myself and not have to depend on my mom to do it. That was me like, you know what? I am able to stand up for myself. Not that I couldn't before, but I had somebody that was doing it for me and had my best interest, so I didn't have to lift a finger.
Yes.
But it kind of made me stronger having to do it by myself because what's she gonna do? Like hop on a plane every time it's a disagreement? Like, no. I had to learn to do that myself, and I think that's my biggest accomplishment.
That is a huge one.
Yes.
And it's a little scary, but life is about taking risk.
Yes.
There's no risk, no reward, right?
Agreed.
2024, what are we going to see from you this year?
I'm working on the EP. I plan on traveling more, performing. Just kind of making more music and putting more music out and kind of just being further than where I was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. The only person we're in competition with is ourselves.
Yes. That's very true.
Whatever we did in 2023, we have to outdo it in 2024.
Yep, I do the same thing with my performances. Love my team, but we do get into it sometimes because I'm like, hey, if my voice is not ready, it can't do this, can't do that. I don't like to perform because it's just like they may not know, but I'm kind of competing with myself. If I know the last performance I did wasn't my best, even if you're hearing it and you feel like, wow, that was amazing, but I know what I'm capable of, I want the next performance to be better than that. And if I feel like my voice or vocals is in the same state, because I work at a call center, so I'm talking all day.
Yeah.
It's exhausting on the cords.
Yes.
So by the time the night comes and I have to perform, I pray. Like, I'm a Christian, so that's my religion, and I pray to God, and I just like, please let me. If you need to come through my vocal cords and this mic, like, go ahead and do it.
I know that's right, but he's got you covered.
Yes, ma'am.
That's important. Let me ask you this now that you spoke on that. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do?
The cliche thing would be I wake up, I thank God.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I don't, and that's not in a negative way.
Yeah.
I just don't think to.
Yeah.
I wake up. And I just be like,
he knows,
I got
right?
clock. Yeah, I got to clock into work. Like, that's the first thing I think about. Like, I don't feel like doing this. Like, but when I'm stressed and I'm, going through things, maybe personal or music business wise, whatever the case is, when I get through it, I thank him every time.
Yes.
Or if I'm about to go through it, I just say like, Jesus, please, or God, please, like,
yes,
just get me through it.
Absolutely.
So I definitely give them their honor and their praise.
Most definitely. He will keep you covered at all times.
Yes,
and we don't, like, I was just sharing with him as well. I was saying, I grew up in church, every Wednesday, every Sunday I was in the church, and I was telling him earlier, I don't go to church now, but I go to church in my own way.
Yeah.
I talk to God every day, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the day, different conversations, so it's like, don't judge us because we're not sitting in church every Sunday. Some people will judge you based upon that. And I'm like,
we all sin. We all sin. I probably sinned on my way here. I was probably cussing because I was late. I'm like, I don't like to be late. Like, the traffic was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just what, and then you realize the more the years go on and you go to church is not church.
No,
it's not church.
Now, a lot of these churches, and don't come for me, but like these mega churches and stuff, to me, it's more for show.
Agreed.
And I'm just like, I'm not into that. I'd rather do it in my own way, my own time, my own intimate setting. The car, you just said, that's my venting session because it's like my safe space. Nobody can hear me. I be in there cussing, talking to myself. Like, that's my safe space. When you have a song that you record and you get it back from your mix and master, how many times would you say you listen to it before you put it out?
Oh my God. 1,000. I probably get on my engineer nerves sometimes. Sometimes I'll send it back to Virginia to get mix and master with Sprague Williams. He's dope. He's worked with a lot of, big artists in the industry and things of that nature. So I send it back to him to get mix and master. And I know he be, when I call, my name pop up, text message, phone call, I know he like, oh my God, girl. Because I'm going to text him like, hey, Sprague, it's a part when it's like a minute and 26 seconds in, it does this when it's supposed to do this.
Yeah.
And he like, all right, D, I got you, D. I'm gonna get it right, D. And I'm like, appreciate you.
Absolutely. That's what's so important about building a relationship with a particular engineer, because you have to get on their nerves sometime because you want it to come out as perfect as possible, especially when you are a singer. It's tougher to mix those vocals than a trap rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to spend a lot more time actually mixing and mastering that session versus like if somebody's rapping.
Yeah.
So you want it to be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, I thank God for me. I sound like my rough drafts.
Yeah.
I sound the same in the studio as I do live. So sometimes it's a blessing and a curse, because when I get my mix and mastering back, sometimes I feel like they didn't touch it because I'm like, it sounds like when I sent it, and it sounds like when I'm performing it on stage, it's to sound better than on stage. But they're like, DeLaney, I can't do anything else with it. Like, this is what it is. And my mom, she's my biggest critic and my biggest supporter, along with my dad and my little brother. So I send it to my mom, and if she say, what it is and what it's not, that's what it is.
I know that's right. And you need that. You need someone who's going to be all the way honest with you and say, you know what? Nah, this ain't it. Go ahead and send it back and fix this.
She don't sugarcoat nothing.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yes.
Keeping it G all the time. Do you want to sing anything for us?
I can. I can sing a little bit of Old Me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I know if you wanted to record. Oh, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Take me back to when I was little, when life was so simple, and I've had so little to worry about. Take me back to when I was mentally free, and when my kindness didn't beat on me. I wanna be the old me. Give me the old me. I wanna be bigger than I've been. I wanna be wiser than back then. Oh, I wanna be free. Oh, give me the old me.
Jesus Christ.
I hope that wasn't like too loud. I wanted to move my headphone, but I was like, I don't want to do too much.
I literally have chills over my entire. That was so, man. Like you,
Thank you.
I have tears on my eyes and chills on my body. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I was not expecting that.
I was a little nervous. You know, like Whitney Houston said in the interview, my voice does not wake up in the morning with me. Mine does not.
Because you got to warm it up.
To me, this is the morning. Yeah, I didn't sing nothing on the way here.
Wow, that. I love the tone of your voice too.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. Like I was not anticipating that at all. Wow. What you think? Yes. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm like in awe right now. I'm stuck right there.
Oh, thank you.
That is amazing. So definitely I'm excited and looking forward to the project coming out this year. You said an EP. What, about 6-7 songs maybe?
My team was thinking like, I want to say they said 12. I can't remember.
So
but
more definitely like an album then.
Around, somewhere around there. I'm gonna see what they said. I forgot. We have so many meetings. But yeah, I'm thinking about naming it A Long Time Coming.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who would be a dream collab for you?
Ooh.
Give me a man and a woman.
Okay. I would love to do something with Lauryn Hill. I love her. I love her voice, everything. A guy, probably like Brent Faiyaz, like if we're talking about something like, you know, up to date. I have a lot of artists that I love though. I'm a very old soul though, so I wish could be like, you know, Anita Baker, Etta James, somewhere around there. Like that would have been cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your voice gives me those type of vibes, but with a very modern twist, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense.
And I love that.
Thank you.
I think that a lot of the music that is coming out now is what I call low vibrational music. Like it's just, there's no substance there.
Agreed.
And it's degrading, you know, and I really want the type of music that you're producing to like really like take over and shine. That's why like I think R&B music, Afrobeats music is very much, in my opinion, rising up above hip hop because it's such feel good music, and we're in an era right now where there's so much ugliness in the world. Yeah, that when we turn to that music, we want to feel good. Yeah, and that's what you're doing. You're making people feel good.
Thank you so much.
Love it. What's next for you?
Right now I'm just working on this EP and just trying to perform more. And I mean, I have a really big goal of making it with my music. But right now, one thing that I am honestly focusing on is trying to go part-time with my job. Yeah. And just really, so I can really have more time to do music, because I find myself being so exhausted from my job that the job I really want to do, I can't sometimes. Sometimes I get off work and I will shower and I will get in a bed. Understood. Like it's exhausting sometimes, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to keep taking away from what I really love to do. I want to be able to sit there for hours and just write songs. You will. You'll get there. Thank you. You'll absolutely get there because, you know, I had many years too. Like I did in my younger years, I did customer service too. Mm-hmm. After 8 hours being on the phone all day and people yelling at you and sometimes cussing you out, it mentally drains you. Like you said, you just want to get home and like just fall out. Yeah. You know, and it's like, will
come a point in time where, like you said, you'll go part-time and then you're just going to do this full-time.
Yeah, full-time. Yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to happen. Absolutely.
so
We're
much.
manifesting it.
Yes, ma'am. This year, I'm manifesting part-time or no time.
Nah, for real. That's facts. Well, thank you so much for being here and taking some time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Sing DeLaney. That is SingDelaney. Yeah, and just stay tuned for what I have coming up, as well as stream my song "Old Me" on all platforms.
Love it.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to shout out to?
I want to just shout out my team for pushing me as hard as they do. I know I probably get on y'all nerves. If y'all watching this, y'all get on my nerves too. And definitely my parents and my little brother. He was here for Christmas, so his name is Zion. Yeah, he was here. He will listen to my songs, new, old, rough. He'll listen.
One of your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
Shout out to yourself too.
Thank you. Yes.
You're so dope.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last but not least, we are live. Industry's Most Wanted. We got the beautiful DeLaney Daniels checking in. Go ahead and tell everybody what makes you the industry's most wanted.
I'm me. No, just playing.
Don't play with her.
Right. I just feel like I have a lot to bring to the table, and I'm ready and willing to work.
Yes.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
It was a pleasure. We're about to hear y'all.
Peace.
Give me the